Hello, you're with Libby from libbystamps.com, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia. And I just thought I'd come in and show you another technique with the watercolor pencils and some watercoloring. And today I'm using the image out of Birthday Blooms. It's got some lovely images in it and some really nice sentiments. So that's Birthday Blooms. I've already stamped my image in basic black archival ink and it's on shimmery white paper. So I'm going to come in with my watercolor pencils and I'm just going to use a piece of scrap paper and my blender pen for today. And I'm going to come in with some old olive and just colour these leaves a bit. And I'm not doing a lot, I'm just colouring in towards the base where I think the shadow might be. And I may not do the whole flower, we'll just see how we go for time. Alright, on this bigger leaf here, I'm just going to outline the bigger leaf. And for this you need quite a sharp pencil. I've just noticed this one's not very sharp. So I'm just going to trace the outline and do a bit more colouring here. And I'll do this leaf here. And then that will do for this image because I just want to show you a technique. Alright, so I'll come in with my blender pen. Oh, it might have helped if I'd used old olive. I've used basic grey. Anyway, never mind. Every mistake is a new creation. Alright, so I'll come in with my blender pen and I'm just going to blend that colour out. And as I said, I'm using shimmery white. Actually, probably the basic grey will be alright if I leave that to dry a little bit. And then I'll show you this technique. I should have coloured a flower instead, but never mind. Alright, so and then I'm going to clean off my blender pen and I'm going to come back in and take some of this colour out. Don't want to work it too much because you don't want the card to start blowing up. Alright, this leaf probably needs the most taking out. So you just keep working it until you're happy with the colour. And you take it out with your blender pen. Alright, I might come in and do one of these flowers in Melon Mambo. So I'll just come in and do this bit here. And I'll do this one. This will give you some idea of what I'm doing. Alright, so we'll just blend that colour out. See how you can get that nice, quite nice and pale. But we're going to mix some colours. Alright, so I might use some Melon Mambo and Rich Razzleberry. And I'm just going to colour those a bit quite deeply on my scrap paper next to each other. And they sort of complement each other because they're both in the Brights family and most of our pencils are in the Brights. And I'm going to come in with some old olive and I'm going to colour that on there. Alright, now I'm going to mix these two colours together and come back in and just do some shading. So you can make a whole new colour, whoops, by colouring two next to each other and using your blender pen to come back in. Now I'm going to take that colour off and come back in and blend that now. You see how we've got a different colour happening? Alright, so with the old olive I'll come in and do some of these leaves. I'm just doing that the same sort of way by picking up the colour off the scratch paper and coming back in. Need a bit more on there. So you can create your own colours using this method, and you sort of let them dry in between time, and when it dries you have this lovely mix of colours going on. Right, so we might try, I'll just put a little bit of yellow in the middle, and all I do is really, I'm just not really colouring those bits, I'm just sort of scribbling over to give that effect. Just go around like that and colour those bits with my blender pen. Now for this larger flower, I'm just going to show you how, if you colour, lay some colour down on this scrap paper like that, and then come back in with your blender pen and just pick up bits of that colour, and you're just going to come in and around. It just gives you a softer, more pastel look, but also picks up the colour. So it's a bit different to actually laying the colour down with your pencil on the flower. And then I'm just drawing that out a bit. I'm going to use a bit of this down the bottom here. A bit more. Alright, so I've got some good colour going on there, and I'm going to come back in with some Melon Mambo in a minute and colour the rest of that flower. But you see how by putting it on the paper you can pick up the colour, and you've got a little bit more control over the colour as it is. So then I can come back in with some Melon Mambo. I'm going to colour that on the scratch paper because I'll need a fair bit there, and I'm going to just pick that up and come in on these bits here. I want that to be quite bright. And there, so they're the bits that are sort of turned over, and then I can come back in and blend in the colour and see how you can have two colours going on there, and you've got a little bit more control over where the colour goes. So I just keep picking it up off the scrap paper and then working it onto my image. And I've got a nice sort of almost purple going on with the pink for the flower, and it's just working in beautifully. Alright, so that'll about do, I think, for today, and I'll put the finished image on my blog. So thanks for stopping by. Bye for now.
Hey, if you wanna play, make it about a place. It'll take creation, imagination. Try to draw out